All right, so today session will cover security operations. That's the final topic in certified in cybersecurity. So let's start with the weightage as usual. The weightage for this particular topic is 18%. So out of 100 questions, you may expect 18 questions from this topic. So we'll cover security operations in detail today. Let's start with encryption. The topic is, cryptography. As we all know, in our day-to-day life, encryption is part of that. If you take mobile phone, smartwatch, Bluetooth, if you take any device, communication happening around us is using cryptography or the way of, various way of encryption. We'll cover high level what are the ways we can achieve encryption, what purpose we are using encryption in cryptography. So encryption, primarily we are converting plain text into ciphertext using particular algorithm. That algorithm can be, various types available because over the period, multiple algorithms have been generated or created, developed. But there are algorithms proven that it was no longer secure. It can be decryptable or someone able to reverse the encrypted text to plain text. Because of that, it considered as weak. So we need to know which top algorithms are highly secure for exam perspective, because in exam, they may give you four algorithm and ask you to choose which one is more secure. So in that aspect, we need to figure out which algorithm is best. As we are focusing on cyber security, the very first domain, confidentiality, integrity, and availability, we have seen in security principles, the confidentiality achieved through encryption, because encryption helps to secure the data so that unauthorized or unknown person can see the message. For example, you are sending a message to someone, man in the middle, no one can see that, the content or the text file, so that it can go securely. So we are primarily achieving confidentiality using encryption. So as I said, encryption protects information from prying eyes by making it is unreadable to anyone, doesn't have required decryption keys. So if anyone decrypts, for example, the communication between you and your friend or WhatsApp or Facebook or any medium, your message is encrypted. So that way encryption is primarily protecting from unknown eyes. So encryption to protect data that is at rest on a storage device or in a transit over a network. Transit over a network is easy to understand because you are using WhatsApp or the MS Teams current collaboration tool we all joined. When I send some message over the chat, that get encrypted and sent to you. So man in the middle, like ISP or anyone involved in the middle of the communication cannot see the message what we are talking. What about the storage device? Device which has the data. For example, your mobile phone has gallery of photos, videos, your sensitive data in your mobile phone, which is not encrypted, right? If anyone took your phone or somehow you have missed or someone stolen their phone, their data are at risk because your data is not encrypted at rest because you took a photo that's stored in your memory card or mobile phone, the gallery, the data is not protected. But when it comes to corporate, what they would do in corporate mobile devices or laptop, they install specific software that will perform disk encryption. Okay, so disk encryption is nothing. They install a piece of security software. Whatever data you are storing, that will encrypt that data at the hard disk level. So if someone stole your laptop or someone lost their laptop, the attacker took the hard disk and tried to connect, they cannot see any data because all they see is encrypted ciphertext that uses disk level encryption to protect data at rest. That is what data at rest means. Data at rest means you store anything. It could be video, MP3 or MP4, voicemail, whatever data you are storing on your mobile phone or hard disk or USB stick, that data at rest is stored. So to protect that, disk level encryption is used to protect. In that primarily seen in companies, but our personal level, we never ever invest for our personal data security. Like if you bought personal laptop, you never purchased a disk level encryption software. Or if your mobile doesn't have proper security, right? Maybe the pin, the less security is pin. If someone take the hard disk out of the phone and connect to another phone, they can see the data, right? So that level of risk we are living with, but in companies, because companies sensitive data like business data stored in mobile and laptop, they invest on disk level encryption. All right. So in encryption, primarily achieved through two ways. One is symmetric encryption, another one is asymmetric encryption. So the symmetric encryption, we primarily use same key to encrypt and decrypt. Okay, so for example, in this example, Siva and Priya both would like to communicate in an encrypted form. So both persons like Siva and Priya agreeing particular algorithm. Let's say algorithm X, they are using algorithm X. Siva is saying, I'm going to use the key ABC. Okay, that's the key. Priya also agrees, okay, let's use ABC. So Siva share the key with Priya. This is the algorithm X. I will use key ABC. Siva sent the message with encryption, encrypted format. Priya can decrypt using the key ABC and algorithm X. Then she can see the text or in the plain text, and both are communicating. This is not a problem. That's how encryption works. This become a problem when large audience come into the picture. For example, in this example, only 2%. Take example, company might have 100 employees. 100 employees, among them, when they communicate, how many keys they need, how many keys each one of them need to agree. Like person A and B agreed key ABC, person A and C, A and D, A and E. So like that, the key requirement is shooting up or increasing using symmetric encryption. So in the next example, you will see now among Siva and Priya, let's add another character, me, Ismail. Now the another character is added into the loop. Now Siva and Priya using key ABC, Siva and Ismail may be using key XYZ. Ismail and Priya may agree to use maybe QRS, right? So now in this example itself, we need 1, 2, 3 keys, 3 different keys we need. That become a challenge in using symmetric encryption. The primary challenge is number of keys you need to maintain between point A and point B is keep increasing using symmetric encryption. So the formula is number of persons in the loop. Let's say you need to communicate among 10 persons, or take in this group now 10 persons join. If you use symmetric encryption, each one of us need to agree a dedicated key. So 10 persons is the person. The formula to find the key count is n into n minus 1 by 2. So if you put that as an example, for 3 persons, they need 3 keys. If you calculate for 10,000 employees, they need 50 million encryption keys. This is the primary challenge with symmetric encryption. So symmetric encryption, the challenge with number of keys, as long as the people get increased or system get increased, the key size or the number of key requirement is keep on increasing. That is not scalable solution. So that's the primary challenge with symmetric encryption. But one advantage with the symmetric encryption is which is very fast, because of you are using same key to encrypt, same key to decrypt. So the process of encryption and decryption is much faster than asymmetric encryption. Right, now come to asymmetric encryption. How we are solving this key problem? Let's say Siva have 2 keys, primary key and public key. Private key and public key. Priya also have similar like private and public key. Okay. So Siva will broadcast his public key to Priya. Priya will broadcast her public key to Siva. So both of them aware the other's public key. Now Siva uses public key to encrypt and Priya uses her private key to decrypt. Similarly, Priya sends messages to Siva using Siva's public key to encrypt. Siva uses his own private key to decrypt. So in this example, how we are reducing the keys, if you add another person in the loop, same concept applies, right? So they will only use public key to encrypt, their own private key to decrypt. So if you have 20,000 employees, you just need only 40,000 keys. The key size is decreasing, as well as you are maintaining the encryption, whatever the algorithm you are using, that can be maintained. That's the primary difference between symmetric and asymmetric encryption. Also, using different keys for encryption is public key, decryption is private key. Because of that, this may be slightly slow because two different keys involved in the encryption decryption process. So for counting keys for this, if you take n as a person, in this example, 3 persons joined in the group, all 3 uses their public key to each other's public key to encrypt. Each person's use their own private key to decrypt. Then number of keys required is n into 2. Total number of persons are 3. N into 2, 6 keys required. If you take 20,000 employees or 10,000 employees in a company, only 20,000 encryption keys required. So that is compared to symmetric 50 million, it just required 20,000 keys. So this is much lesser than the symmetric encryption. So asymmetric is primarily recommended and used widely today. Even if you take SSL inspection or any encryption protocol, wherever you see encryption, you might have clearly see asymmetric primarily used in place, but symmetric also used in some of the process within that HTTPS encryption or some purpose, but both can be combined to give much security. Now we'll talk about that algorithm. In exam standpoint, you must know probably which one is more secure, which one is fast, which one is slower, what are the example algorithms available for a particular type of encryption. Let's start with the RSA. You see, reversed Shamir Edelman is full form of RSA algorithm. AES is advanced encryption standard. So asymmetric cryptography is lower. As I stated, the reason is using two different keys, for one for encryption, another one for decryption. But it solves the problem of creating keys for large organization. That also I explained why you can create less number of keys using that formula. Only 2 keys are needed for each user using asymmetric cryptography. So now come to this table, symmetric and asymmetric. Symmetric, only 1 key required. Siva and Priya talks to each other using single key. But in asymmetric, Siva and Priya talks to each other. Siva and Priya uses their opposite person's public key to encrypt, their own private key to decrypt, right? So 2 keys required. NIST recommended key length for symmetric is 128 bits, asymmetric is 2048 bits. Commonly used algorithm for symmetric is AES, asymmetric is RSA. Okay, so if there is a question about RSA, keep in mind RSA used in asymmetric cryptography. Okay, asymmetric cryptography, RSA, symmetric cryptography, AES. Okay, that you keep in mind exam standpoint, because if there is a multiple choice question, select a protocol, select that particular algorithm which is being used in asymmetric cryptography. They may give for 4 algorithm, you need to choose RSA is the right answer, right? Because RSA used in asymmetric, AES, advanced encryption standard used in symmetric. The key thing is the other protocols, other algorithms available here are AES, Blowfish, Serpent, Towfish, 3DES, and RC4. Maybe 3DES, RC4, AES, you need to remember for asymmetric. The other algorithms it may support. For asymmetric, RSA, DSA, ECC, Diffie-Hellman. So these all supports asymmetric cryptography. Next, where we are using encryption, right? As I just given the hint in the beginning, data at rest is one of the primary use case. Data at rest, because you are encrypting the backup, you are encrypting the data which is saved in your hard disk file storage system. Imagine, primary bank which holds maybe 10 crores customers data. They cannot keep it in plain text. They are encrypting. So data at rest is primarily used by many storage companies and heavy banking systems. They use data at rest. Also, employee data protection. Each laptop comes with data encryption softwares. Primarily Symantec and a few primary vendors. They use data encryption. They use key and while installing operating system, they put the key and that get encrypt the data. If someone lost their laptop, the attacker cannot take any data out of their laptop. That's the primary protection, data at rest. Data in transit is something the data is moving from one person to another person, one device to another device. Even if you take between nowadays, everything is smart devices, right? For example, while driving a car, you are attending a phone call, you are giving voice messages to your car systems, right? These all encrypted nowadays. So if someone is capturing the signals in your car Bluetooth system, they cannot decrypt. So data in transit is not only between mobile devices, it can be between your smart home system, home appliances, or car systems, car Bluetooth, and wherever you see wireless communication, the data in transit is encrypted. If someone is taking data, you may not able to decrypt. But there are situations where wireless data may be seen unencrypted. I have seen in one example, if you been into airport, the air traffic controller while receiving a command from the pilot while landing or takeoff, that signal is not encrypted. That uses radio signals to communicate. So not all the wireless signals are encrypted, but some signals still in open text. Anyone can receive and decode what they are talking between flight and air traffic controller systems. So that type of data security place where we are living. So nowadays, most of the wireless signals are, the messages are encrypted. If you are a student, if you are doing any final year project, make sure your wireless signals and communications are encrypted. The reason behind that, considering attacker, if they capture the signal, they can decode the message, they can manipulate or change the message if that permitting, or you can transmit another transmitter with modified message to manipulate the devices. That type of attacks may happen. Next, hash function. Hash function primarily call it as one-way function or one-way encryption. Once you encrypt, you cannot decrypt. Then why they are using very much, right? This hash function primarily used to store passwords, store data which doesn't require to be reversed or to be retrieved to original form. For example, you are setting a password in Gmail. If that password stored as what you are entering in the backend system, any Gmail employee can see the password in their database, right? To avoid that, what they would use, they use hash functions. For example, you enter password, let's say password at 123. In the storage system, it will not save it as password at 123. It will go to hashing function. It will get converted into hashing. Hash will be stored in the system. So they will see the hash, but they cannot reverse into the password, which is password at 123. So while entering the right password, while you are logging in, that takes the input and convert that into hash and go and validate the both the hashes are same. Then you are the right person to authenticate and it will succeed your authentication process. This is one example where hash is used. The other example, the hash creates unique output for each and every file. For example, you are creating a hash for MP4 file or an image. You will get a unique outcome, maybe 16-digit or 32-digit numbers or alphanumeric character you will get, but you will get each and every file unique number. So again, where it will be used, for example, you are downloading a Chrome browser executable file from Chrome website. Chrome uses file hashing to confirm. They will put a file hashing number against the download. This is the file, this is the file hash number. Once you download the file, you can check that downloaded file hash is matching with the hash Google has provided, so that you can confirm that file is not modified by someone else or in the transit. This is helpful for validating whether you are downloading the right file. You might have seen many download sites, they put relevant hash in the next to the download button. After you download, you can use Microsoft command line or MD5 hashing tools to validate the downloaded file and the vendor provided hash is matching. If it is matching, the file is accurate and genuine. If it is not matching, the reason could be someone manipulated the file, someone given wrong file, or someone uploaded wrong file to their website, something got changed. So this is like you are sending a envelope with the 2 letters. The receiver is receiving only 2 letters. That's how you are agreeing. Yes, I put only 2 letters in the envelope. You received 2 letters. If there is another letter added, number 3 in the envelope, but the source is not saying, that's how you can validate the integrity. The source and destinations are changing the exact message. Man in the middle, no manipulation happens. That's where hashing really would help. If you just Google hash functions use cases, you will get many use cases. Digital certificate is one of the use case where hashing is used. So hashing algorithms are MD5, MD4 is no longer secure. SHA is more secure, but still MD5 is used in file hashing. If you go to virustotal.com, you can still put a file hash for any file to check whether that file hash is malicious or not. Because in olden days, antivirus uses file hashing to validate whether the file is virus or not, because they maintain all viruses file hash in the database to validate what is the file is malicious or not. So MD4, MD5 is still in use, but it's no longer secure. But the secure hash algorithm, SHA, is another series of hash functions approved by NIST, National Institute of Standards and Technology, Federal Computing Applications. So SHA is more secure in terms of file hashing. MD4, MD5 is less secure. So exam standpoint, if there is a question about file hashing, which one is more secure? SHA is more secure. MD5, MD4 is less secure. All right, let's talk about, we have seen symmetric and asymmetric earlier. Now we talk about hash algorithm. Hash algorithm NIST recommendation is 256 bits. You can see on the example algorithms available: SHA 224, SHA 256, SHA 384, SHA 512. These are the example algorithm you can refer. Also, MD4, MD5 is still used for file hashing. Okay, so when you can decide the given hash function is less secure. As I said, if someone able to reverse, let's say you are doing a hashing for a file called myvideo.mp4. You have created a video file, you have created a file hash. Someone decode that file hash back into that, reverse, and identified that that is a file for myvideo.mp4, then it is weak, because file hash never be reversed. It's a one-way encryption. No one going to decrypt. For example, your password is password at 123, file hash is, let's say, ABCD123. If someone took ABCD123 and reverse it into password at 123 to reveal your password, then it is weak. So that is called hash values can become public. So you don't want someone from seeing hash value to determine the content of a message. Hash to message. If someone is reversing, that is weak. That is one thing. Second thing is not collision resistant. What does that mean? When you create a hash, it should create a unique outcome. That outcome never duplicate of any other input. For example, my video.mp4, my neighbor video.mp4, two video files. If two video files produce same file hash, then that is not collision resistant because two unique file should create two unique hash function or hash value. Okay, so password at 123 and password at 1234, both creating a same hash outcome, then it is not collision resistant. So these two you need to understand. If it is reversible, then it is weak. If it is not collision resistant, then also it is weak. So these two are the file hashing key parameters to identify if the hash is weak. So MD4, MD5, why it was weak? Someone did reversible exercise and they found a way to reverse. That's the reason MD4, MD5 no longer secure in file hashing. All right, now quiz time. Take this quiz and confirm if you can answer. You are concerned that users traveling with laptops will have those devices stolen while in transit. Which encryption technology would best protect the data stored on the laptops? We talked this a couple of times. Primarily data at rest protection we need. Which option would best meets? I think C, right? VPN. Yeah, let's see. I'm expecting few more people to respond. I will explain. All right, so you are concerned that users traveling with laptops will have those devices stolen while in transit. So even kind of incident happened in my life in past. While I was in travel, I lost my company laptop. Which encryption technology would best protect the data stored on those laptops? HTTPS? No, because HTTPS is used for website encryption or any web protocols. HTTP is a plain text, cannot be used. VPN is a end-to-end network encryption. That is nothing to do with laptop device protection. FD is a full disk encryption. It's a short form, full disk encryption. That can be used to protect the data stored on the laptop. If someone took my laptop, they can disconnect my hard disk and connect to another computer. They cannot see any of the data stored on my laptop if I use full disk encryption. So FD is the right answer. So as I didn't put previous slides with FDE, but just for your purpose, you in exam standpoint, FDE means full disk encryption. All right. So next topic is data life cycle. This can be applicable even our personal data. For example, you take a picture, you are creating a file, you are storing it in your gallery in the phone, right? Then you are using, maybe you can keep it in your Instagram status or Snapchat, you are uploading into Facebook, you are using that file. Now you are sharing that file with your friends, family, etc. Now the memory is full or reached 90%. You are going and seeing what are the ugly photos you can delete. You are archiving. Then still you can permanently delete that photo so that you can get the memory space back, right? So create, store, use, share, archive, destroy. That's the data life cycle. If you take companies or enterprise businesses, same applicable. Take a company as an example. Company, let's say accountant, create a file. he store all account related data. He's using the data to process and find the business, whatever business outcome for that business function. Share the data with his manager or whatever client they are looking the data. Once the data no longer needed, he will archive or take a backup. Once no longer needed, maybe after 1 year or 6 months, he will completely delete the data. This is what general data lifecycle. Okay. In exam standpoint, you just know this process, but this process cannot be always in order. You can create file immediately, you can share. So you don't need to store and use. Let's say I create an Excel sheet, I attach that sheet and send it to my team or my manager. I didn't store, I didn't use the file. I just created, I put some content and I directly sent. Or I created a file, I found that is no longer needed, I directly deleted. So this is a full set of process applicable for data cycle, but not necessary to be in this order. It can skip any one of the step and it can go to other step, depends on the requirement. So next, destroying electronic records. Electronic records is nothing. Whatever data you are storing in electronic media, it could be pen drive, hard disk, or USB stick, or electronic data. So the first step is clearing. Generally, we see memory full in our mobile devices. We go and see and delete whatever unnecessary files available on gallery and delete, right? That is called clearing. You are just clearing so that you will get more space, right? So primarily you are overwriting the memory card or mobile phone storage and gaining some space back. That's what clearing. Okay, the problem is using some recovery software, you can get that data record back. Like for example, deleted photos can be retrieved back. So clearing is not maybe an efficient way to achieve clear, destroying, but somehow you can reuse the same mobile phone, same memory card for storing other data. Next is purging. Purging is similar to clearing, but uses more advanced technique. It uses magnetic fields to securely overwrite the data. Okay, purging can be used in magnetic disk or few type of storage devices. Cannot be used in all the storage media, but purging is used for one step further. The final step is shredding, pulverize, melt, or you keep a fire, which is called incinerate. Okay, that is primarily used in enterprises. For example, your company is handling banking system. Suddenly the hardware failed. You have RAID or RAID 0, RAID 1 backup system. You retrieve the data, but you need to replace the faulty hard disk. Once the hard disk is being replaced, what they will do with that faulty hard disk, they will shred the hard disk or incinerate, which means they put them in the fire and they completely destroy the evidence. Because if someone took the data, they repair the hard disk and they can get chances of retrieving those sensitive data. To avoid that, there are companies and sectors, they follow this type of methodology. They would melt or put them on the fire so that completely the hard disk get destroyed. Even the RAM or ROM failure in router switches, they take that RAM, they put them on the shredder device that will put break them into bits and pieces, so no one can assemble it back. So that way the faulty electronic wastes are completely gone. That's how destroying works in electronic records. Okay, maybe it's not suitable for personal. We don't care about personal laptop, but as long as this certification is focused on primarily enterprises and business security. So destroying is one of the highly secure way of cleaning the electronic records. So next, electronic records, fine. How to clear the paper records? Because there are companies still printing out thousands of pages as their business plan, their sales strategy, or printed out as a booklet or a file, like a physical file. So the first option is shredding. Shredding is a machine where they put the dip paper and that will, tear the papers into bits and pieces. Shredder is a single, up to 10, 15 pages. Okay, one guy can do shredding. But when it comes to large quantity, let's say, hundreds of books of records they maintained in physical paper, how to destroy? They cannot put one by one in a shredder, right? So pulping is used. They put all the paper into a bulk container and they use chemicals to, pulp that, the paper physical records. They make it chemical to process and remove the ink from the paper. So that way pulping would help. Incineration is another thing, like burns the paper. They put it on the, the kind of incineration equipment where it will fire the paper and the ashes comes out. So they're completely, but it's not environmental friendly, but that another way we can remove the physical records. So exam standpoint, shredding, pulping, incineration for paper records. Next, data classification. As we are dealing information in the companies, maybe some informations are public, some informations are private or sensitive or confidential. We may not be able to share companies, next 3 months salary or sales information, right? Because that's a sensitive data. If that is get leaked, your competitor or someone can intervene in your business and it may reduce your business outcome. So data classification plays key role in information security. So as part of governance efforts designed to help organizations to provide appropriate protection for sensitive data, they classify. So military standard, this is military standard used in primarily government. Okay, if you take any government agencies, they use these words: top secret, secret, confidential, unclassified. Unclassified, they will share it with everyone because it's kind of a public information. It could be circular, notice, nothing confidential. Confidential, maybe they keep it within some team or some group of people. Let's say only sales engineers aware of their sales quota or whatever a target they need to achieve is a confidential data. They need to keep it in their team. Secret could be, sensitive data, maybe only directors or 3 to 4 people might know. Top secret, maybe only CEO or CFO, high level board members only know that top secret informations. That's how the data classified. Once this data classified, that can be used in access control so that the other people cannot access the respective labeled files. For example, if there is a Word document classified as top secret, only CEO can access. If there is a document classified as unclassified, then everyone can access. That's how they put access control in their file system to safeguard the data. This is for military standard, but come to business standard. In business, public, internal, sensitive, highly sensitive labeling used. Similarly, public, they will share it with everyone in the company. Internal, it is only available for the particular company employees. They will not share it with the outside. For example, public data, they can keep it on their LinkedIn post, they keep it on their WhatsApp status. But internal data, they cannot, because internal data, that's why they classify it as internal. If they go outside, it may pose some security risk or information risk to the company. Sensitive data may lead to financial loss. Let's say my next quarter revenue information is leaked, then my share price may go up and down, depends on the information leaked for a public traded company. So sensitive data must be maintained with respective group of people who trained on how to deal that security data. Highly sensitive is, maybe company's next future plan or some sensitive move, that highly sensitive label could be used. But overall, as a cybersecurity professional, you should know how to map that security controls with the data security. For example, in Google Drive or in Linux file system or any storage media, you have option to put the label that can be put them in the access control policy, so that whenever someone access, whether that user has rights to access the file, that can be validated. So This could be strictly followed in businesses, not in our personal life, because personal life in your Google Drive, you never classify this is my personal data, this is my public data, but maybe while share, but we never classify that level. But in business, we must do. So as I said, labeling is used to apply the access control policy. So the similar way you can label it like military standard or business standard. If your business is related to military or government agency related business, the military standard would be used. If it is normal commercial business, then the business standard of labeling could be used. Now time to take this quiz, guys. You are a security officer at a corporation that has a strict data retention policy. One of the company servers reached its end of life. It is being decommissioned. Which of the following action is the most secure method to ensure that sensitive data on the server hard drive is completely destroyed if you would like to potentially reuse the drives? Okay, so this question has one twist and the last 4 words. Okay, so I could see all are putting most of the answers are physically destroying the drives because I emphasized that the statement before. Physically destroy is the highest security method to completely destroy the hard disk so that no one can recover the data. But this question, you see the last 4 words, drives is completely destroyed. Server's hard drive is completely destroyed if you would like to potentially reuse the drives. Okay, so the question has this twist. You need to reuse the drives. If you destroy the hard drive, you cannot reuse, right? So the answer is degaussing the drives. That's the magnetic waves they use to degaussing and remove the data available on that disk so that that device can be reused. Okay, that's how they twist the question. So read it 2 times before come to the conclusion. Also try to eliminate one by one. Don't directly look into the any one and pick the answer. That will leads to incorrect one. Maybe if you want, you can reread this question and understand what they are exactly asking. So that's how they twist the most or the last 3 words. They put a twist so that they trick your mind to think. Are you think and are you covering all the aspect given in the questions? Next topic is logging and monitoring. Each and every components creates alerts and events. For example, if you take your door access card, or if you take any computer and servers, each system creates events. Someone entered, someone exit, someone logged in, someone logged out, someone tried, multiple times password not working, the account get locked. Any events people generate when come and go to the office. So these all events must be logged for a certain period, as well as the data must be retained for certain months for meeting the regulatory and compliance requirement. For example, as per Reserve Bank of India governance, every bank must hold 6 months of bank employees' transactions. I mean, what they are doing on their electronic devices must be stored by 6 months for investigation or forensic analysis. If some incident happened in later, they use last 6 months data to correlate the events. But how they can do all the things? For example, the employee might have mobile phone, printer, laptop, desktop. If you take one normal bank employee, the employee come to the bank, they put attendance, fingerprint attendance, then they sit on the cabin, they open the laptop or a desktop, they log into 10 other softwares, one for withdrawal or remittance, deposit, whatever accounting software. Many things happening within a one system, right? Similarly, if you take any other job role, for example, take a pilot board to a plane, they need to check some pre-checks before takeoff. While clearing the security check, they need to check some certain things. So these are the logging you might have seen in physical paper or systems used to log each and every things because of accountability. Let's say if someone did some fraud, it come to light after 3 months. How to prove that that guy did the fraud? You need evidence, right? So logging and monitoring primarily used to generate accountability with the traceability so that we can investigate any security incidents. If that happens, then that can be used to retrieve the data so that we can use that data as a digital evidence to take action. Even we can file a criminal case against employee using such data. So that is primarily used for traceability. Okay. So now come to nowadays, various devices available, how we are monitoring and logging the data. One of the tool we must all aware of is security information and event management tool, which is called SIEM. The famous vendors are Splunk, Logarithm, QRadar. Nowadays, Databricks, various other tools available. So the SIM tool collects all the logs and correlate the logs and create alerts and events based on the filters. For example, if there is a virus entered to the laptop, that virus try to encrypt some files on the disk. So each event virus entered, there is a file movement logged. Now there is encryption. Files are getting encrypted, that alerts get logged in the SIM. Now SIM will correlate. There was a file. It start encrypting the files. This is the device. It correlates and create an alert to a security operations center, which is SOC. Then SOC will follow the security, incident response, which we have seen in past the previous domains. They follow the incident response plan like a triaging or analyzing, containment phase. They investigate and they apply the security controls as per the incident response plan to mitigate. This is one example. But when it comes to real life, when user come to office, they took some company, let's say they took some laptop and gone home. Now, everything is recorded in CCTV footage, the company access card entered and exit time, all recorded. So they take that as evidence and produce a criminal case against the employee and they investigate. That's how in physical security incident, this logging helps. But in software standpoint, SIEM is the primary tool used for logging and monitoring. Okay, so now question time. You just been assigned to improve the existing log management system in your organization. Which solution aid in centralizing, protecting, and analyzing your log entries? DBMS, NIDS, SIEM, IAM. Simple question, straight answer. Yeah, not a hard one. SIM, yeah, SIM is the answer. That's what we have seen in this previous diagram. So it's a simple, very simple question, not that technical. So that's how some easy questions like, I feel like 30–40% of the questions are like this for the exam. So you can, you may feel like I'm not comfortable to take the exam, but really you are comfortable because whatever concept I'm teaching, right? Some are straightforward, like symmetric or asymmetric encryption we have seen today. Maybe the two different keys used, same keys used. These are the learnings, right? So if someone asks, what is asymmetric encryption? Yes, two different keys, public key, private key used. Symmetric encryption, only single key used. This is a straightforward answer. If that type of question also comes, so 30–40% of the questions you may see straightforward ask, no, not twist one, because it's a fundamental basic exam, right? So it must be that level. Next, configuration management. In configuration management, probably before we go to this topic, we'll take a short 5 minutes by break. I pick some water and come back. Yeah, you guys take 5 minutes break. We'll connect back at around roughly 8 p.m. All right. Okay, let's continue. So configuration management. So when you purchase any computers or network equipments for companies, right, it comes with default configuration. Let's say you have purchased a router, switches, or printer or door system. Each comes with one software interfaces that comes with a default password or configuration. So we need to define what is our baseline configuration for you know uh, our security practice. So baselines can be obtained from respective vendor for best practices they may provide, but at times you need to generate your own baseline controls. For example, uh, we set all Wi-Fi access point with IDP. I mean the ADFS or whatever IDP is the authentication. You set the authentication baseline, then encryption baseline, then usage policy, like the base policy you need to develop, then version control. Whenever you develop and release such baselines, you can keep a version. Let's say 2024, you released version 1. 2025, due to some vulnerability or some threats, the vendor recommended some changes, then you are keeping a different version that can be implemented for best practices. So configuration side, what all are the vulnerabilities will appear? Mostly, if you are just using iPhone, it doesn't mean you are secure. If you are using Android, that doesn't mean you are less secure. The way you are secure, your security is how you are using that device, what are the security controls you have implemented under settings, right? If you bought a phone, you just use default settings. The default password is, let's say, password 123 or PIN is 12345. Then you are vulnerable. Your phone, if someone took, they can use the default password to get into the device. So default configuration always must be changed to your baseline. Then weak security settings, as a user or as a cybersecurity professional, you must know the weak security settings available on those devices that must be changed as per the change policy or whatever baseline policy you have set. Then the cryptographic weakness we have seen in the Wi-Fi configuration or end-to-end encryption configuration. Whatever cryptographic weakness you might have available or as per the standard, you need to update. Every year there must be some news around some protocol is outdated, then you need to change it to another protocol. It's a continuous process. You cannot say 2022 we did assessment and we updated all our settings. No. 2023 you need to review every 6 months. You may need to put a policy to review all the security controls are up to date because new vulnerabilities and issues are announced by respective vendors are open forum. We need to follow that. We need to implement the changes so that you can protect the company assets and the configurations from those network devices. Patch and update management, probably every 2 weeks, Chrome releases patch. Every month, I think second Tuesday, I believe Microsoft releases a patch. So the patch must be properly up to date. Even in past, have seen an incident. There was a CISO in a US company was arrested because that guy didn't allow to patch the system on time that lead to potential data breach. So imagine if you are a security officer for that company, there was a patch you were not aware of. Attacker utilized that option to, exploit the device and took some company data and threatening the company now. You are under fire as well as you are behind the bar because you are not diligent enough to follow the security measure and update the patch. So patch and update management also fall under cybersecurity professionals head. We need to take care of patch and update management for the radius you are covering. It could be router switches or proxy firewalls or whatever endpoint mobile devices. If there is a severe vulnerability was exposed, we must update the system. So patch and update management is one crucial item. Then account management. as we have multiple accounts, user account, guest account, service account, API account, automation account, multiple account types are exist. We need to put a proper plan like auditing or 6 months once that access account review happening, so that unused accounts, obsolete accounts, or the accounts which was created and left unattended, those types are deleted, or that type of loopholes are fixed in the account management. Next, security policies. So the policies primarily helps to achieve the company's governing goals. For example, employees are given with the mobile phones. Company bought a mobile phone. Let's say company, everyone is getting iPhone 17. Whoever joins in 2025, they get iPhone 17. In iPhone 17, they install Confluence, Jira, company email service, so that employees can access from anywhere, any place. While giving mobile phone, there must be a acceptable use policy must be defined. Okay, that policy also fall under cybersecurity professionals, because that device is holding company data as well as personal data. You need to write a clear differentiation, acceptable use policy in the event of theft or mobile device lost from employee. Company has full authority to swipe or wipe the entire data. I mean, deleting entire data remotely. They install some software and monitor all the movement on that mobile device. As soon as you report as an employee, you need to report and company take action. That is called acceptable use policy must be documented. It is just one example for mobile phone. Acceptable use policy is applicable for router, switches, firewall, proxies, mobile, laptop, whatever equipments users are using, the acceptable use policy must be defined. Data handling policy, let's say company data stored on the mobile device. It doesn't mean he can share it over WhatsApp with his family and friends group, right? So data handling policy must be developed and users are trained on that policy as well. Bring your own device policy. Okay, now company allowing bring my mobile device and connect with the company network. The moment you connect with the company network, you need to agree, bring your own device policy, as your mobile device is your own personal device, get connected to company network, which network has access to maybe sensitive servers or data. So the policy must be defined accordingly, what you can use, what you shouldn't use. Then password policy is very common, like how password length or password expiry date or duration, password complexity. I think we have seen this also in the previous domain concepts. Password policy to be defined. Then change management policy. If you like to implement any change, let's say there is a password policy change or there is a change to be implemented on user softwares, how you are notifying the employee when you are making the change. So this respective change management policy also must be developed. These all fall under security policies. Next one is security awareness training. Whatever fancy tools and controls companies have, end of the day, humans are the one going to use it, right? So humans requires training. The training is continuous training. It's not like one time you have given training and forget. Every 6 months or 9 months, we need to reiterate the same training, how to use the data, how to use computers or with the security controls, the phishing campaign, or how to mitigate if any security incidents noticed, if someone entered the office, how to react, who will catch the employee. If let's say 100 people working in a company, suddenly one stranger entered into the company. Okay. Now all 100 employees working for themselves and they are not at all taking care of the stranger who entered, then that responsibility, who will take care of the responsibility if that stranger, took any, equipment or steal some company information or oversighting the company infrastructure. So these are the things included in the security awareness training. So how to react when you receive a phishing email. When you clicked that email, how to react. When you clicked and you compromised your credential, how to report to the security team. you accidentally shared your Google Drive company file with the external personal email ID, how to react. These are included in the security awareness training because humans must be trained. Human is the weakest link in the security. So humans can be tricked to create security incidents. So security training is primary focus for mitigating many cyber and social engineering related threats. So security training, we'll call it as security training and security awareness. So security training primarily provides users with the detailed information they need to protect organization security. Okay, this could be physical as well as logical security. This may use a variety of delivery techniques. The bottom line goal is to impart knowledge. Security training takes time and attention from students. So the employees must attend the security training so that they know how to protect, companies, help companies to, implement their information security or organization security. Security awareness is meant to remind employee about security lessons they have learned. Unlike security training, there is a slight difference. The awareness training is different. Okay, it doesn't require time to sit down and learn new material. It uses posters, videos, email messages, and similar techniques to keep security top of mind. Those already learned, those core lessons. Post security training, they put security awareness. If you enter any MNC companies, their wall they paint with the phishing email campaign. Their lift door they put a stickers, how to react if some stranger entered into the company lift. These are the security awareness campaign you might have seen in MNC companies buildings. So now come to social engineering attacks and key reasons why social engineering attacks are sometimes successful. Okay. So social engineering successful, like primarily what is social engineering? Trick someone to do something which could be favor of money or favor of collecting the information. Let's say someone impersonate as me with taking my profile picture and create a Google Pay account, asking you all of you guys, I'm urgent need of money and send me some money or something, like posing like some urgent situation, asking you help. You joined my maybe my training. They might have take your information, impersonated and one attacker playing that as a victim card. Then what will happen? Out of 10 people, 1 or 2 people believe that that's me, and they may send the money, right? That's what happening in real time. The impersonation type of attacks that put authority and trust. You are trusting me and you are sending me the money. Actually, I'm not the person who asked that money, because they impersonated my profile picture and they made you trust to trick that type of attack. Then intimidation is similar like impersonation. Consensus and social proof. Many attacks uses kind of the events related social proof. Let's say the flood victims help organization or non-profit org for helping the war prone areas. Then they use that as a trick people and steal their information and money. Some other social engineering, they create scarcity. For example, the scarcity, how it would like, if you are not acting, you may lose your account access. Let's say they send you an email, hey, I'm from passport office. If you are not updating your personal information today, we will revoke your passport. Click the link to update your data. They are creating a scarcity, like creating kind of, if you are not doing, you will lose your passport. This is just one example. Like that, many scarcity related social campaign happened. That will trick people to react, and they will react and click the link. That link may install malware and install the viruses. In employees, how it will happen? Employee receive a message, hey, I am your CEO. I come to your city. I'm in need of buying urgent Amazon coupon worth of 50K. My transaction declined a couple of times. Can you help to buy Amazon coupon? You believe that that message came from your CEO you never ever spoke to, and you try to help CEO and buying Amazon 50K voucher, your money gone because they created that type of urgency and impersonated a CEO. They tricked a human and took your money. Then some emails create urgency. If you didn't update your Aadhaar card, your PAN card will be revoked or discontinued. Click here to update your income tax return status. Kind of a mail which pose urgency. Okay, there are other things like they send you a mail, you won 1 million. Click below link before 1 hour so that we will take immediate action to process the money delivery. You need to deposit 15,000. People still trust and lose their money because they create urgency as well as they don't have time to check whether it is a true or false. Still victims, people are fall into victims. If you go to our national crime records, you might have seen crores of scams still happening and attacking common Indian citizens using scarcity, urgency over SMS, WhatsApp, or digital arrest. So these all related to social engineering. The familiarity and linking is the one example I told you, the CEO example or any known friend example, because they use that opportunity. Both the party. The attacker took some time to research. Okay, he is a guy who's a famous guy in that particular, let's say, particular domain. Use his profile picture and attack all the peers or contacts and ask money or ask information so that further attack can happen. Same applicable for employees. So protecting employees is important for us as a security professional. We need to deliver more training, more security awareness campaign to get rid of this type of social engineering attacks. The examples are not applicable for exam. You just need to know social engineering, the reasons, following reasons: authority and trust, intimidation, consensus and social proof, scarcity, urgency, familiarity and linking. But underlying types, we have many that can be used to trick, or they may use more than 3 to attack a single person. For example, scarcity, urgency, familiarity. These 3 can be combined together and craft the email. Your CEO. Your CEO is sending a WhatsApp message from a new number asking urgent money. Okay, scarcity, urgency, familiarity. Your manager or CEO, familiarity and linking. Urgency is urgently asking money and he put some medical emergency or some kind of a story. Scarcity, since he is a CEO, if you didn't help, you may lose a job or know what he would think. Type of scarcity they develop and you won't think people try to help and they lose the money. This is so common nowadays. If you take Instagram and Facebook, many fake profiles created and they chat and they ask money. They send a random Google Pay number and people still, falling into this type of attacks. As a cybersecurity professional or student here, if anyone asking you money, pick the phone and call if you are known that person and well dead. Is he asking you or his account was hacked or impersonated and, asking you to fall that into the victim. So mostly that is happening through social media nowadays. So be aware of such frauds. First, we need to protect ourselves. Then we go for company and our profile. So the social engineering, also educate your parents and elderly people in your home about social engineering, this type of attack. If you have followed my LinkedIn profile, I have posted many elderly people awareness type of campaign, maybe this month, the beginning, to mitigate digital arrest and a few other scams, as I'm primarily interested in this type of cyber scams mitigation side of awareness. As October is a cybersecurity awareness month, many companies posted company awareness or social awareness kind of campaign across social media. But still, that is not enough. Like country like India, still this scammers business is skyrocketing and keep growing. So we need to be vigilant and we need to create awareness in our house and in our family circle. then only we can slowly eradicate this type of social engineering. But come to the exam standpoint, the social engineering is happening through these following reasons. You just to keep aware, social engineering can be mitigated through user security training as well as security awareness. So these two can help to eradicate social engineering attacks. Now we are almost reached this 6-weekend session. I would like to, thank you for your interest and interest to take this action as a learning path to get into cybersecurity. So here is the call to action. As we have completed 6 weekends, first schedule the exam. Maybe 30 days, 20 days, 2 weeks, depends on your level. Next, participate in multiple choice questions as much as possible. I have put all the free available materials in a Google Doc and sent you over WhatsApp yesterday. You refer that sheet and participate and try to practice as much as possible. While practicing, you will understand which domain you are weak in that area. Then focus on that area, read about that area, and improve your knowledge. Then go to exam without any fear. Take proper sleep and bring 2 ID cards. Go to the exam center in advance 1 hour before or half an hour before. Take the exam. Pass or fail doesn't matter. You are moving and you are going further in your life. If you pass, good. If you are failing, you have another option in next year in January. Maybe the offer may continue. You can again book the exam. You can give it another try. So that way you can have 2 options. If you fail in here next year, they may give you a voucher and you can give it a try in January. So pass or fail doesn't matter. I will always motivate people to learn something new and go further in your career. Once you get the certificate, you can update your resume. Even if you don't get certificate, you can put you have completed 6 weekends training by LearnCyberSec. Then share your feedback over LinkedIn or social media or whatever platform. You encourage others to join as next batch is scheduled to start on 15th November. I posted that post in LinkedIn. But as this I'm doing as a community giveaway, I can't spend money on marketing or advertisement. Just I'm asking all participants in this batch and previous 2 batches to circulate in their circle so that next batch people may join. I can continue because the continuation depends on the participation. If people not joining, I may lose interest. I may lose motivation. I may drop the course as if doesn't make help to anyone, right? So that's the goal. So with that, maybe I conclude here. If you would like to say something, please unmute and say. Otherwise, we can wrap this call in a minute.
Thank you, Ismail bhai, for your for this wonderful session and all the weekend trainings. Thank you. Thanks a lot. It was really helpful.
Yeah, thank you, Adnan, for your kind words. You guys all motivating me. 6 weekend, I'm doing consistently. Also, you guys also join. That's the first step we need to break as many working professionals stuck into their work Monday to Friday. They don't even have time to learn something new. So this one free opportunity I just made to come out of that situation, at least learn something. And maybe that passing situation happened in past, maybe in your college days or after you take 1 or 2 exams. That feeling will give you motivation to do more. Maybe working professionals can go for CISSP next. That's their goal, maybe in go further in their career. But for students, I have seen many job opportunities comes with the certified in cybersecurity as a criteria for entry-level role. So it's a very good opportunity for freshers to get first entry-level jobs. If you have certification, please update in your LinkedIn profile and resume so that interviewer may find you and call you for interview. Yeah. All right, everyone. So with that note, I end here. Go ahead, Rajesh.
It was a wonderful session, Ismail. So it was a healthy information, whatever you given, right? So in internet, a lot of things are there. So whatever you gave the information, it was helpful for me. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Rajesh.
Thank you, Ismail, for the amazing journey with you. Thank you for putting your efforts and sharing the information with us. It's very helpful for all of us. And hopefully will, as per your, according to your suggestions, we will schedule our exam and share our feedback with you. Thank you very much for putting these efforts. Appreciate it.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, that's the important part. Now prepared, gear up yourself, give more multiple choice questions, appear for the exam because mostly every city, the Pearson Center available. Go and sit for an hour and give that shot. Pass or fail doesn't matter. I won't even care whether people pass or fail. But if pass, it may give some benefit. If you fail, still the knowledge or lessons you have learned that will carry you further. So that way it would help somehow in your professional journey. So being part of that, I feel proud that I found a way to help others in a consistent way. I would like to continue in more structured way. That's where I seek your feedback as well. For example, here, for example, in this call, 12 people here. In this call, if someone found instead of explaining this topic in this way, teach me in a video or teach me in some more elaborated way that may help the feedback to create next batch with a clear action. Maybe I may work on content. I may refer additional resources to add more content to help them as accessing those books are not affordable by many or mostly not available for immediate consumption. If you order a book, it may take 2 months, 45 days to arrive. Such exams. If anyone found any topic or any concept is not covered well, but you found that in your exams, feel free to share me post to the exam. I will take that action as a collective action. It will help next batch or our own self if you are appearing exam in next year. As I said, this voucher will given yearly basis. If you fail this year, January could be another option you may get. You may use November, December to gear up yourself again and take the exam in January or February when you are ready. So use that opportunity because year on year they renew I believe the voucher and the offerings. So the 10 million is the target for them as ISC squared. Many people took the exam. We don't know when they will stop. So that's why I urge you to schedule the exam first, then prepare. Maybe put 30 days, 45 days after as exam scheduled date. Then you prepare a multiple choice questions, all the concepts again and again, identify weakness areas, focus more, then appear for the exam. So with that note, I wish you all the best, everyone,
Ismail,
to
just one
crack the
question.
exam.
Is the exam online as well?
No, this exam is must be proctored in-person exam. You must visit the Pearson Exam Center.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, bro.
All right, yeah. So with that note, I conclude here, guys. I won't take much time. So wish you all the best and have a good weekend, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.